The Formal Gamer, podcast for those with exquisite taste.
We return to Seathwaite, where the city glitters but hides a dark and dangerous underbelly. Two brothers, Locke and Key, are tasked with an assassination that will rock the city to its core. But are these wretched villains up to the task? Seathwaite is cutthroat, cruel, and unforgiving. Can Locke and Key keep their heads when all hell breaks loose? And who is the mysterious figure known as the Weasel? And will he be friend or foe?
Hi guys, welcome to episode 16 of season 9 of the Formal Gamer podcast. Thank you all for your kind words. Some people put some nice reviews up on us online. That always makes us feel much better. But more important than any of that is that you enjoy the episode.
Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Formal Gamer podcast.
Yeah!
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 Oh, someone's voice is back.
Yes.
Not if he keeps on doing that.
It is. Yeah, probably not like that.
Took a magic healing potion, yeah?
He did.
So...
Was it syrupy?
No.
And that's how you play along.
And yes!
The first rule of all improv is say no. No, it was not. Good day to you, sir.
I said good
I
day!
said good day.
That's good then. So, we're back joining our friendly, lovable rogues and Seathwaites.
It's been a while.
Well, yes, it's been a whole week.
I think the listeners need to know it's been a little longer than a week for us recording.
What? I don't understand.
So we might be a bit confused on certain things.
We might have done some research about our characters as well.
I'm not.
Yeah, no, you certainly haven't. So we're back in Seathwaite with Lance, the shape-shifting goblin. Or is he... It's a Batman Bruce Wayne situation. Is he the Weasel or is he the Goblin?
Which is his true form?
Yeah. Is the Goblin his disguise for the Weasel?
Well, he was born a goblin.
Right.
But he became the Weasel. Yeah. So it is a Batman Bruce Wayne situation.
Yeah, but I think you're asking who became who. Well,
No, because Batman is Batman now, isn't he? So when he's lassoed a truth by Wonder Woman and he's asked who he is and he has to tell the truth, he says, I am Batman. Because Bruce Wayne is now his disguise.
So that's true.
If he was lassoed by the lasso of truth, what would Lance say? Am I the Weasel or am I Lance the Goblin?
I think you'd have to take a moment, have a cup of tea, maybe a syrupy bit of goodness.
Well, there's no syrupy tea around here.
No,
so
we found that out already.
that's canon now. Wonderful. So, Weasel Goblin thing. Then we've got Locke and Key.
Don't just take it away like that. There's none of this Weasel Goblin shaking the finger at me.
So, Locke and Key then, our roguish brothers of destruction.
Half brothers.
Yeah, exactly. You're on a job at the moment.
On the job.
Where is everyone at the moment?
Outside the tobacconist.
So
Separate.
Yeah, all separate.
Separate.
So Key the half-orc, he's dressed as a guard.
Yeah.
He's got some interesting stuff on him.
Got a bomb.
He's got a bomb.
That's 99% of what Key's brain is at the moment. I've got a bomb. I've got a bomb. I've got a bomb. And then occasionally goes, uh-oh, I've got a bomb. I've got a bomb.
Good, so Key's got a bomb. And you're outside at the moment in the crowds.
Yeah,
who are gathering. The tourists, the crowds are drinking, the revelry, all outside Henkel
due
Jekyll's
to my
White Castle.
previous indiscretions in the castle,
Yeah.
I'm worried people will notice me. So I'm hanging on the outside and I'm sort of like the tits up squad. When it all goes wrong, then I come in and I'm going to cause a big explosion at some point.
And it is going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, that's where Key is. Locke, where are you?
So I'm actually in the castle.
In the castle?
Yes. Disguised as a rich merchant.
Lovely. What's your rich merchant name?
Will you tell me?
No, you tell me.
I don't remember.
So, after consulting the ticket that you have in your pocket,
Yes,
you remember
I do.
you're called Nia Drumwind.
Yes, indeedy.
Which will be awkward if you bump into any of his friends.
Yes, especially since I literally just made a disguise without actually spending any time watching his behaviour, mannerism, speech, or anything.
So you might want to pick another pseudonym, because if you go around being near Drumwind, then people might be, I know near Drumwind.
Well, I might need to create another disguise.
How many disguises are you going to make?
Well, I've got the skill. I want to use it.
This party seems awfully busy. I can see one over here, and then that person's around the corner, and another person has come out from around the corner.
Weirdly, saying they're near Drumwind still at both sides, which is more confusing.
Wearing the same trousers.
So I'll leave that mess to you. So Locke.
That might have to be the title of this season.
So Locke you're the sneaky, smooth-talking, roguish half-elf.
Yes.
You're dressed in a nice party get-up, and you're you got in by impersonating near Drumwind.
Yes.
Which is the master of Gallic, a green goblin.
Yes.
Not
the slave master.
No.
The master.
No, because it's actually a financial relationship between them. Where was the last place you saw Gallic?
He jumps off the bridge.
Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah.
You gave him a lot of blitz.
I gave him a load of blitz. And Galak just left.
Yep.
Didn't you see that? That was the night before when we were leaving
I think so. Yeah,
no, you're
that's when
right.
it
Yeah,
was
Yeah, and he just went, I'll see you tomorrow. And
dungeon.
Galak has zero idea of the plan.
I have a feeling we're going to beat him again.
Oh,
Almost certainly.
certainly.
At a very important moment.
I think Galak's one of the most important characters.
Riding a space spider.
Oh, that would be good.
That would be good.
And eating an
Riding
elf
the
child.
spider's face.
Exactly. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm dissociating myself from that comment. And so
And that movement.
Locke is quite key to the plan. Especially when Key gets locked up. Because Locke rather, I confused myself. You're in the
Bit too
VIP
clever.
area. That's the kind of the ground floor of this big castle. At the moment, you're in the smoking room off to the side.
I
But you
am.
have been through that VIP area before. It's a big open. Well, it's a big, large opening throughout the rest of the castle building. You never actually looked at the ceiling to see what's above you, though. What's your current objectives?
So, my current objective is I was given some information, some intel from Marlowe about Sneedle having
He's a campaign manager, the guy that's running this thing.
that we've constantly
For
come into
Henkel.
contact with and seen as quite an important person within this Gentle crowd. There's going to be an important meeting where Sneedle's going to relay his plans to some important people.
Yep.
So I'm trying to find out where that is and infiltrate that. And then obviously I have the main objective of finding Gentle, interrogating and potentially killing or blackmailing, whatever.
something.
Yes,
Yep.
something.
And to that end, you're going to have to improv that bit, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, sure. That's one of my strongest skill sets.
You do have a magical voice box, don't you? That you had to trade your voice for to power. That's the small box with a mouth on it, which Marlowe gave you, and when you can activate it to record.
Sorry. I know the listeners are going to have to get this. Never has Robin looked so blank as this thing that he's forgotten. Is it coming back to you now? Not at all, is it?
No, I'm remembering it. I just don't remember.
No, that's a
I
lie.
just don't remember how it works.
Roll insight. Oh, you're lying.
So it's the user can activate it. There's like a magical switch on it.
So as in I record someone else's voice.
You've got a dictaphone, but a D&D one.
Yeah, D&D
Right, fine.
dictaphone,
So
which
then
you had to trade your voice for. So you had a weird, strained,
Right,
pompous
yes,
voice.
that was it. Yes.
Before.
No, yes, I remember now. Yes.
So that can help
He
you
doesn't remember.
potentially if you want to record information either from Jenko or Sneed or whoever.
Yeah.
If someone tells a good joke at the party, you want to remember it for
That
later.
was part of the blackmail.
Exactly. So that's a potential. So you've got lots of options for you, right?
Yeah.
And then last is Lance.
Hey,
Where's Lance at the moment?
oh, it's secret, die.
Well, if Marlowe were to ask you...
Well, we could ask where his wife is.
Yeah, I'm in the cog room.
Oh, yeah, that's the way to get to him. Yes, you're in the cog room. So
Don't you talk about my wife like that.
Oh God, not this again.
I know exactly where my wife is.
In my pocket.
Well, not quite, but yeah.
Just to let listeners know, we're 12 minutes in, so however long this is, on the final edit, you can imagine how much we've had to cut out by this point already. This has taken us 12 minutes to get to.
It's all gold. That's right, Lance. So you're in the cog room, with the machine room, which has this whole wall of these giant cogs stretching up like 60 feet, 70 feet into the
my
air.
aim was to get to the top and crack one of the cogs.
Exactly. So you're in a perfect position to break these cogs, and these cogs are driving the machinery for the lift the other side. The lift that you've seen because you cased the joint is the guest of honor, Lelulan, who's a guy you need to kill. You've been told, you've been paid to kill.
Yeah.
He's going to get in that lift. So when that lift starts going up, your plan
the intention
is to...
was that to destroy one of the cogs at the top, so that the lift gets stuck at least halfway and further, rather than get stuck at the bottom, which would be fucking pointless.
Yes, exactly. Or the other thing you discussed was you can break the cogs as it's going up. The lift is moving up slowly.
Yeah.
And when you break the top cog, rather than being secured by the next cog down, it's going to smash through all of them.
Yeah.
And you went and saw the Ferris brothers who built this contraption, and they...
Yeah, very disappointing that was, because they weren't ferrets.
No, they weren't. They weren't. So, yeah, that's what you're up to.
And that went really well for me last time, eh?
Yeah, you didn't...
Yeah.
So, what current health is your ferret on?
Yeah, one.
So your ferret, he's quite a strong ferret. He's got 4 hit points.
Yeah.
Once he goes down to 0, you go back to...
Yeah, I turn back to Lance, yeah.
I think that answers a whole goblin or weasel discussion.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Batman.
Yeah, to be honest, listeners, I didn't realise that weasels only have very minimal health points, so I'd probably be dead.
I mean, we could have made the assumption they didn't have loads of health points.
I know, but I'm buff weasel, eh?
I'd sort of always assumed in the game, if I had to fight a weasel and I hit it, I was hoping that would be the end of the fight. Since you were hit with the swords.
But don't tell her that, because his main ultimate finisher is summoning like 10 weasels.
Yeah, you ain't seen that yet, mate.
Oh, yeah, we'll crack that from the record. Yeah, as if you could do that. So you've also made a deal with the devil to get into this castle, haven't you?
What? Well, no.
Yeah, you have. Who have you made a deal with?
Yeah, well...
Am I meant to hear this?
Oh, we meant to hear this.
I'll
Okay,
put my
yeah,
hands over my
hands
ears.
in your ears.
You look so suspicious.
Yeah, I had a chat with the crocodiles.
You
eh?
did. You had a chat with Big Crack,
Yeah.
Squat,
Yeah.
Wonktail.
Yeah. I
Egg
like
Eater?
Wontail. Yeah.
Do you remember you
Egg
promised that
Eater.
you'd give him some eggs, didn't you?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah, there was Gary.
So they're all waiting outside because they're in the moat, and you've snuck in through the moat entrance that goes into the
I
kitchen.
turned into a weasel and walked through the bars.
Exactly, there's these big, strong, steel cage barred doors with a lock on it.
I can't remember who the one that bit me was.
Yeah,
It was the first one, I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
He didn't quite apologise enough. But
the problem is they all look the same, don't they?
Yeah,
Apart from
and to be fair,
Wonktail.
it was a rather fucking stupid plan of mine to fucking stick my head next to the water.
I mean,
I did kind of deserve it.
you got quite close in there, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
So anyway, yeah,
But
you made,
a means to an end.
you made
so.
a deal with them as well.
Yeah.
And I think, and in terms of timings, listeners, guys, everyone. So yeah, and in terms of timings, Lance is in the cog room. It's 8:20. You know, the guest of honor is going to be using that lift at 9 o'clock. All right, just got time to prepare.
40 minutes to get it sorted, Lance.
Hey, I might have already done it. You don't know.
The fact that I put my hands on my ears for so long didn't suggest it was going very well.
Yeah.
And I did love the phrase, deal with the devil. I've heard better phrases.
But you guys are bad guys. So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, well, yes. Good
Well,
point.
actually,
I'm not a...
not key.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I'm a bit bad. I just poisoned someone. And I may have lost my friend Pivot.
You don't like killing people, especially.
No, I'm more ignorant than evil.
You're a simple evil.
Yes.
I'm a simple evil.
Misguided. And for Locke, who's in the VIP party,
Yes.
it's 8 o'clock, and for Key, who's outside, it's also 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So from here, we're going to rejoin Locke.
Okay.
So if the other lovely gentleman could entertain their ears with something else, while
I'm
me and
gonna
Locke
put
have a bit
some
of a
music
solo.
on, and I'm going to listen to the sounds of
Heavy
Philip
breathing.
Glass.
All right. And we're back in. So we are with Locke. He's in the VIP area. He got through the VIP dock bar.
As expected.
Yeah, nice. And you've got through, that's kind of tunnel that you went through, that bridge that was suspended over the moat, and there's lots of like very beautiful intricate lattice work with like wooden patterned lattice with stuff growing through it, very beautiful and flowery that you walked under.
Maybe somewhere I'd like to come back to
Maybe
at a later date.
To be honest, it seems nice. It seems nice.
Bring along my mum.
Maybe. She initially you said she would like
maybe
it.
Get a painting of us all on the bridge.
Did you ever get that?
No, we didn't. Don't tell Key. It took a long time to.
I'm going to make him roll to remember that.
Yeah, don't do that.
And you went up some stairs, and you're now in the ground floor, and you saw this big long corridor.
Yeah.
Down the other end, there's a large archway, and you can hear hustle bustle and clinking of glasses through there. And your intrinsic insight would tell you that's probably where the big open atrium is, where everyone kind of has like dining tables, and there's a stage. And there's lots of people in there, but you chose to go right. So you followed after a man called Gravlax. Or I say a man, he's actually a gnome. He's a little gnome with a very sharp suit, and he looks like he's very wealthy from his jewellery, his large clockwork watch piece that he wears around his neck. When you went into this smoking room, there was the atmosphere of smoke in the room, and you passed a rhino and an owlbear. The owlbear that you read the plaque of, who was killed by Ufar the wrestler in the arena.
Yes.
And
he keeps cropping up, doesn't he?
He does. Maybe significant, maybe no significance. I just like using him a lot.
Well, we'll find out or not.
And you went kind of past Gravlax's table where he was talking to a rather beautiful elven woman. And as you're walking past, you heard him say, you walked behind them, you're trying to eavesdrop, and you heard him say, "You think he's going to try and do what? Oh, we should talk about this later." And you walked past and you went to the bar. It seemed like he thought he needed a bit more privacy to talk about whatever he wanted to talk about.
Yes.
So you're now at the bar.
Yes.
On the back wall of the bar, you see an absolute amazing assortment of these interesting, wonderful and expensive different spirits and wines and alcohols. And also, that's in one side of the cabinet. And the other side of the cabinet, there's a whole bunch of cigars, cigarettes and cigarette tellers. I can't remember the long ones, whatever.
Cigarella? Oh, no.
Yes, one. Maybe.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Whatever.
Don't
Long cigarettes.
Load of vapes. So you're in this. The room's not too busy. There's big comfy chairs around, kind of coffee table-ish things. No one's eating in here, obviously, and there are a few people admiring the taxidermied animals. The table closest to you is Gravlax and this elvish woman.
Yeah. Am I close enough to eavesdrop?
You are, yeah.
Okay. Or would you like me to roll for that?
No, you can. So you can just hear them talking at the moment. So Gravlax says, "Well, actually, there was something I've been meaning to talk to you about. You know, I have a lot of money to put around, and I'm looking for new investments. I know that you're the one I should be speaking to, shouldn't I? About the Eladrin. Eladrin don't do business outside their big forest, do they?" She's staying quiet, listening to him, focusing on him. When you can look at her, she's got a very a kind of like a crown, like almost like a crown of white wood. It's like a headdress of white wood, and her braided long blonde hair is woven in between the crown. It looks very intricate and delicate.
So, would I be able to perhaps guess whether I think that she's not from around here and possibly she's part of the Leiluin party?
You can roll a you can roll a history, because unfortunately we don't have anything that's akin to politics or streetwise or the like.
Sure.
So if you kind of recognise who she is, what she is.
Sure. So 18 plus 4, 22.
Nice. So you recognise that she's not an elf, actually. She's an Eladrin, which there is a distinction, right?
Okay.
So from the history of Helen Scar, the you recall, because being an elf isn't a big part of your upbringing, really, like lots of elves. So the elves were a an invasion force hundreds of years ago, right, that came over to Helenscar.
Yeah.
They tried to invade. They got cut off from their invading force, and all the elves here are actually invaders from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And that's why they have this position in society. They were kept around as slaves, as servants, as bottom feeders of society. And they still don't have much respect even hundreds of years later. And that's why there is this massive, like, kind of cultural distaste towards the elves, right? But the Eladrin, which are... you can tell the difference if you had two of them standing
So the
by sides.
Eladrin weren't part of this elf.
Yeah, they were
invading
natural
force.
elves that actually have always been in Helenscar. Okay. And they keep to their forest. They have this giant forest in the middle of Helenscar that's it's far away from Seathwaite. It's not miles, it's not like the other side of the continent, but it's, you know, this is like London to Midlands or like Washington to New York.
A couple of hours drive.
Yeah. half a day's coach ride, probably, D&D terms. And they all live in this forest in Fellafale. This is the forest it's called. And the Eladrin keep to themselves. Okay. Very much keep to themselves. And the Eladrin very much don't associate... Not much is known because they keep to themselves, but they don't associate much with elves. Like, it's not like they see them as brethren that should be helped in general, right?
Yeah.
So this lady is an Eladrin, which is very unusual.
So that's
in
quite
itself.
unusual then.
Yep.
But Leyluin, I know, is an elf.
Yes.
So he was like a wood elf or something, or I
Yes.
don't know. Just
you
I know
you don't
he's
know
an elf.
much about him, but you know he's an elf
Representing elves.
You know he's not Eladrin.
Okay.
Okay. But there's a lot of confusion. Like, to the casual man,
They wouldn't realise the difference. They would see
they
the same.
would just be like, these are all elves, and they live in cities, so they see all elves the same.
Sure.
It's only educated, cultural people that would really like your average, like
Joe.
Your average landlord,
Yeah.
pub or waitress like person wouldn't know. Right? So you can see she's Eladrin. And what did you get overall?
22.
22. Okay. So you and you've heard a name, Lady Glendron. Lady Glendron is known for being the only Eladrin that will do business outside of Fellafale.
Okay.
So in the context, you have this banker called Gravlax, who's saying he's looking to invest, and you have Lady Glendron, who is the only Eladrin that's known to do any kind of business.
Sure. And what would I know? What kind of business would occur with the Eladrin? Like what I would imagine that Gravlax would be looking to do business with, like what that he couldn't get here, and he could see as very profitable within the city.
You could imagine that it's anything the Eladrin produces. You know.
So yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, what are they known to?
From what like amazing they're obviously amazing at woodwork because they live in a giant forest. They have beautiful and intricate craftsmanship.
Okay.
They're also powerful with magic. You know, it's a typical kind of like high ancient elf kind of things. But you also know that for this party, Sneedle wanted Eladrin wine and Eladrin bread as well. These ancient Eladrin recipes.
Yeah, that's very interesting, especially that there's an Eladrin here and he wanted those specific things because we assumed that was for the elves.
Well, which
it could still be the case.
Roll an insight again. I can't remember if you got this information.
15 plus 4, 19.
19. So you know that a big part of this party that Sneedle's very purposely targeting is to bring up elven culture, so that it's not such a looked down upon part of
so reduce
society.
Discrimination.
Exactly.
For the
so if he
elves.
comes out and goes, well, look at this wine that's so amazing. Let's look at all this bread that's so amazing. Let's look at all these things about the elves that are so amazing. And it's kind of bringing them up as like a new, because this city, Seathwaite, is a vibrant city that's always wanting entertainment. It's always wanting revelry. It's always wanting the new cool thing. So it's like having a new type of musical pop up on Broadway. It's like, here's this new thing that if he can just kind of turn around the cultural distaste, everyone could be like, it's like a hipster adopting a new thing. You know?
But what we don't really know is why he's doing that, which is obviously what we're still investigating.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Exactly. So you can hear them talking about business, and Glendrin seems amenable to saying that it could be something she's interested in, although there's a lot of competition for her products.
Sure.
So they carry on talking roughly about business.
Okay. In this bar, do I see any other routes out? So I came in through an entrance, I walked through, and I've seen all these couches in the bar. Are there any like stairs, corridors leading off out of the room?
Yeah, so actually, I think we discussed this last time, actually. So it's behind the bar, you saw a set of stairs going down.
Okay.
And from your previous visits in the castle, you remember that when you were in the basement, the stairs, because you're on the ground floor, would obviously be going down to the basement. And when you're in the basement, you're on the west side of the castle. On the west side of the castle in the basement is on the east side were the kitchens where you snuck in originally.
Yep.
In the middle is where you liberated poor Key after he so horribly got made to be drunk and thrown in prison.
Yep.
And then on the west side is where you found that entertaining room.
Yes.
And then you managed to find that secret portal.
Yes.
But on the kind of southwest side, which is the side you're on now, but on the ground floor, that was where you found the guard station. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And Steve was going around commanding people around, and that's where you went in and grabbed a bunch of things to forge. That's where you got Key his ticket that he wears, saying where he should be in the general area. That's where you signed out Key on the logbook.
Yeah.
And that's where you framed poor Gold Runner for signing off and signing him, making him do the signature for everything.
Yeah,
so
that Key could then be the guard, and then he slipped me the sword and stuff. So
and actually, he's just dead.
Yeah.
Gold Runner.
What a great productive mission already.
Kill Gold Runner.
Yeah.
So you see these
which
stairs.
I enjoy.
Good. You see these stairs, and that probably goes down to the guard area.
Okay.
So here you are in this smoking room.
Okay. So I'm going to roll insight to see if there's anything within the room that maybe I notice as being strange, or maybe could possibly take me to, without beginning any interactions, see if I can subtly start to work out if I think people might be going to, if people look like they might be kind of involved with Sneedle, or if I see anything that kind of catches my attention, that might be a clue towards my current missions and destinations. 3, which is not going to be great.
What's the plus?
Plus 5, 8.
8
for investigation.
You kind of look around the room and you go, "Oh, this is a really nice room." You do see there are like voice trumpets in the corners of the room,
Okay.
like up in the ceiling, very corners. Actually, it's just over the bar. Actually, the 2 voice trumpets over the bar.
Okay.
That's the only thing you notice. When you look around for 10 minutes or so, one of the castle servants comes in with a guard. So the servant and guard walk into the room.
Okay.
They walk to your direction.
Okay. I'm going to roll insight quickly to see if I think that it has anything to do with me, or I can. 5 plus 4, 9. I'm not doing great now.
No, it's walking over to your direction.
Okay.
As they get close to you, they turn to Gravlax, and the servant whispers in Gravlax's ear.
Okay. I tried to hear eavesdrop.
Okay, go roll for it.
So what would that be?
That's your perception.
Perception?
Yeah.
Okay. 11 plus 4, 15.
11 plus 4, 15. So you cannot hear what they say. You see the servant. The servant's bent down because he's talking to Gravlax, this very well dressed gnome. He bends down and he's talking to him, and he turns and he motions with his hand in an inviting way to the door.
The door I entered into.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And Gravlax turns to the elf woman and
Yep.
says, "Lady Glendron, it's been good talking to you." And then he hops down off his chair and walks to the door.
Okay. I am going to, if I ordered a drink, I don't remember if I did the last episode, but if I did, I'm going to finish it.
Yeah, there's a drink at the bar, half drunk, and you drink the rest of it.
Okay. And then I'm going to make my way to leave. But again, I'm going to try and do it in an inconspicuous way.
Okay.
So
Okay, fine. So,
But I'm essentially following Gravlax.
okay, so you're going to follow Gravlax. So the servant, the guard, and Gravlax walk out the door, and they turn to the right. How long are you going to give before you go to follow?
Well, I think it's a long corridor, isn't it? And it's the way I came, isn't it? Because they turned right as opposed to, and I came in left. So I'm gonna go slowly. I'm not gonna be looking to rush. And I might give them, I don't know, so they can walk halfway down the corridor or something. I don't want it to be obvious.
Okay. So you go out and you look to the right and you see them walking to this big archway. And they disappear round the corner.
I'm going to follow them.
Okay, go ahead. So you follow them to the archway. When you look into the archway, you see a very, very wonderfully busy party atmosphere. You see rows and rows of tables in this big open atrium area. You see down the far end a deer rotisserie, which you know is coming out the kitchen in the basement.
Yeah.
The rotisseries move around slowly. It's filling the air with a beautiful smell of deer. And you also see these beautiful white trees with white bark. There's 4 trees that are placed kind of in the centre area in a square.
Okay.
And there are tables in between. There are tables everywhere.
Sure, but that seems like some special little square area within the trees.
It doesn't seem that it's particularly special because there are just guests eating in that area as well. It's just a rather beautifully laid out area. And when you're looking into the room, you're looking from the west side and you're looking into this big open area, and there's the stage to the north. So that's actually to your left. There's a stage. And at the moment, there's no one on the stage. You see Gravlax. Actually, scan the room for me.
Sure.
So roll a perception.
It's a 6 + 4, 10.
10. So you catch a look at a guard and a servant off to your right. And to your right is a set of stairs going up. So this is kind of like there's a mezzanine floor up above where it's kind of an internal balcony, right? Where you can see people having drinks and talking and looking down.
So it seems like a private area or something, maybe.
This is a whole VIP area. There's no because the set of stairs are to your right to go there. There's another set of stairs across the whole of the atrium, which almost stretches the whole of the castle, right? Which you can still see, and you can see it doesn't look like there are guards on the steps, or there isn't anything like
And does the garden slave look like the one that came and got?
You can't tell, but you can tell there's a guard and a slave together.
Okay.
Walking off to the right, and there's servants serving food all throughout, and there are a few guards kind of throughout the room as well.
Okay. Do I see any other? If I want to check again, can I see any other guard and slave close together? Have that guard and slave already left, by the way, or are they still there?
No, it's like a moment in time. So they're slowly walking towards some stairs.
Okay. I would like to do another check.
Okay.
If I have time to check them or to check around again.
Do it.
Or do both, depending on my roll. 19 + 4, 23.
Nice. The crowd. So it's not like overcrowded like a tube, a London tube or a train or whatever. It's not so overcrowded, but there's lots of people moving around and talking. So, but as you kind of squint your eyes a bit closer to that garden servant, as they start turning to go up the stairs, the crowd parts a bit, and you can see next to them is a gnome which you recognise as Gravlax.
Right.
So he's a little gnome. It's hard to spot him in the crowd. You know?
Yeah, sure.
And they look like they're walking up the stairs.
Okay. So I'm going to make my way towards the stairs to go up. And again, I might be going a bit slower because I'm trying to look like I'm just looking around.
Social stealth.
Yes.
Looking like you belong.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Roll me deception.
Oh, well, I will. So 5 + 6, 11.
11. So you...
Not my worst roll today,
you're kind
but...
of turning round in a circle as you're walking, looking. And you get to the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
The servants and the guards and Gravlax at the top of the stairs. And as they reach the top of the stairs, you hear an announcement from the stage.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, and you turn and you see there's a very kind of more well dressed, but it's still a servant. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's festivities will begin. As outside there is darkness, inside we bring light. And you notice in the room, it's not particularly light, actually. It's kind of fine. Like, there's candlelight going on. It's kind of like a orangey, slightly dimly lit room at the moment, because it is 8 o'clock at night.
Yep.
And on the stage walks a young elvish lady. And
full elf or half elf?
You can roll for it.
I will roll for that. 11. Yeah, 11 plus 4, 15.
15. It looks like an Eladrin again.
Oh, right. And it's a different Eladrin.
A different Eladrin, yeah.
Quite a few cropping up.
Yeah. And she sits down on the stool on the stage with her side facing the kind of outwards onto the stage. She sits down on the stool, and 2 servants roll out a harp. And the harp is rolled next to her, and she leans forward and strikes a string. And as she strikes a string, the whole of this large atrium lights up with beautiful blue light coming from above. You hear Gravlax say, "Oh, Sneedle can wait, I'm going to watch this!"
Ooh.
And he turns on the stairs.
To look down the stairs?
Yes, look down the stairs, where you are.
Okay.
He's looking towards the stage. The stairs are pointing to the room, and the stage is in the middle of the room. So he's turned. He's watching the stage. You're all down the bottom of the stairs, looking up at him. He's looking at the stage.
So he hasn't noticed that I'm looking up?
No, he hasn't noticed.
Okay. So I'm going to turn to look at the stage.
Okay.
But say I'm still close to the stairs.
As you're turning, he gives an eye down to you and then looks back at the stage.
Oh. Okay.
So the music carries on playing, and it's you know, this Eladrin young lady is clearly some kind of wonderful bard. The music's playing is almost euphoric in its beautiful simplicity. It's wonderful. It's almost mesmerizing, and a lot of the crowd have hushed. They quieted down when the servant was announcing, but as the music starts playing, you hear a complete hush. You also don't hear any chinking of glasses or plates or knives and forks on food. There is silence in the rest of the room. This is... roll me a perception.
11 plus 4, 15.
15. So, as she's playing, you're looking around the room, and the room is completely still. The only movement is coming from her playing on this harp. You do notice when you look up, before this was just a room in a castle, but when you look up, you notice what the ceiling actually is. The ceiling's made of water, and the blue light is coming through the water.
Okay. Can I roll to see if I might understand what that could be?
Go ahead.
Like, obviously I'm not magic, but I might have some... 12. Would that be investigation?
It'll be Arcana. Minus?
2.
Yeah, minus 2.
No.
Oh,
Plus 2.
Plus 2. Oh, that's
So
alright. That's
14.
not bad. 14. You can see the water.
Actually, it's probably one of my best rolls so far, to be
it's
fair.
alright. You can see the water is suspended. It's like... literally, the ceiling's made of water. It's being suspended.
So it looks like a mirror of water on the ceiling or something.
Yeah, but there are ripples in it, and you can, as the light is shiny, you can see the silhouettes of things in the water. You can see the silhouettes of fish moving. You can see the silhouettes of what look like lily pads, maybe big like stepping stones.
Okay.
And it's across the, it's not the entire ceiling. You can see some stonework in the ceiling. It's over this main atrium. So if you were go up on the balcony, which is going around the rim of the room, above that is a stone ceiling. So it's kind of this inner square.
Okay.
But there's this wonderful blue light shining through the given it's shining through water, maybe it was, and it's kind of, it has, when you're in like an aquarium, it's like a blue rippling effect.
Yeah. And you get the lights flashing along the walls and the floor.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
That kind of wave nature to the light. So yes, there's complete quiet in the room at the moment. Everyone's transfixed.
Wonderful. I'm also transfixed, genuinely.
Wonderful.
I'm also paying attention to the top of the stairs, but I'm trying to be subtle about it.
Okay, good. So the song goes on for a couple of kind of 5 more minutes.
Okay.
And when it stops, there is raucous applause. Everyone loves it and thinks it's wonderful. So there's this loud clapping. Gravlax, you can see Gravlax is clapping as well. So is the servant and the guard. And Gravlax says, "Well, we've kept Sneedle waiting long enough. Let us go." And they all turn and they walk. They carry on walking up on the balcony level.
Okay. I'm going to follow, even though I suspect that Gravlax is aware of me now. But I'm going to follow anyway, regardless.
Okay. So when are you waiting for them to? Are you following as soon as they're walking off? Are you waiting to see? So you can see.
To be honest, I'm going to, as soon as they walk off,
Yeah.
and I lose sight of them at the top, I'm going to walk up. But this time, I'm going to hide around the corner and take a peek.
So you can see.
But I'm still trying to look like I'm just maybe leaning at the top of the stairs or something. I'm trying to be quite socially stealthy.
Yes. So when you look up to this balcony level, it's a whole floor above, but the floors here are rather large, so it's like a good 15, 20 foot up. Very high ceilings, and the balcony level above that is a good 15, 20 foot up before there's a ceiling above that. So that water above you is like 40 feet up, it's pretty high up.
Yeah.
So you look up at the balcony level, there's windows to the outside of the castle. It's the first time you really see windows. The windows start on the second floor, and they're kind of like just glass windows. And there are people drinking up there, the people talking up there. You can see there doesn't seem to be any doors or anything, because it's kind of the very most castle wall. The balcony is stretching on the west wall, and when you follow it to the right where they're walking, you can see that there's a corridor it goes to behind the north wall, which is clearly where they've gone. And if you look to the left, which is kind of the south side, you can see again it stretches out to again another kind of corridor area. So they're clearly walking to the right, and if you want to follow them up the stairs when they've already walked around to that corridor area where they kind of their view is obscured, you can.
Okay, so so there are people drinking in this room, but then they've actually gone off to the right corridor.
Yes,
the corridor to the right. Okay. Question. So I'm guessing Gravlax has kind of noticed me, but probably quite a quick look. Do I think I could modify my disguise to look a little different, to possibly again maybe possibly make him not realise who I am if he did.
You certainly can, because you are a master of disguise.
Yes, I am.
You're not sure how what that look meant though. You don't know if that means he's going to be suspicious or whether it's the party and no one's there. So you're not quite sure.
I don't know. So it's more of a question of how.
You also don't know where you could modify your, because you'd have to.
Yeah, I'd have to find a
kit
place.
Out and...
Yeah. Well, I think I'm a bit pressured by time, so I'm going to continue following. So I'm going to go to that corridor on the right.
So you walk up the stairs. As you look down the right, you can see they're down this corridor, and the corridor goes into a corner.
And are people still down this corridor, or is it quite empty now?
The corridor's kind of empty, but there are people out on the balcony.
Okay.
So between you and them,
could I grab maybe a drink from a passing waiter to maybe make it look like I am enjoying the party?
Can. Yes.
And is there food? Could I pick up a toothpick of...
There's no food up here.
Fish eye or something?
No, certainly not in this establishment.
Because actually I'm a little hungry, to be fair, even on the mission.
Okay, good. So there's a drink that goes past, and you stop the servant, take the drink, and you ask him, is there any food as well? And on the platter, he unveils a kitchen cloth, and there is some olives under the kitchen cloth.
Okay. So and is it just kind of grab, or are there toothpicks holding them? So I'm going to grab one by a toothpick, and
he says, "Sir, this delicacy is called fish eyes. Obviously, it's not fish eyes, because that would be disgusting."
Oh yes, quite.
He goes, "Oh my, sir, you sound like you have quite the rasp."
Oh, I'm suffering from a horrible cold at the moment.
Oh, please do not breathe on the fish eyes.
I breathe on the fish eyes.
He gives you a look and walks off. So, sounds like you have a gravelly voice back.
Yes.
Wow. So, it looks like that you giving your essence of your voice was temporary to power this voice
Yes.
box. And now it has kind of grown back.
Yes.
Until the voice box takes it again.
Yep.
Which might be any episode. Who knows?
I guess we need to see how long it takes to repower and reuse.
Well, we'll see. Okay. So you carry on walking, and as you walk past a group, a lady turns and she gives you a curtsy and says, "Hello, sir. My name is Lady Penelope. Who might you be?" And she's buttered up with a lot of makeup, but she doesn't look unattractive.
And what race is she?
She's a human.
Oh, she's a human. Okay.
Yeah. She's a human brunette with lots of curls in her hair and a big puffed out dress. It looks kind of a bit garish, but probably quite expensive. It's yellow as well.
Okay, wonderful.
My name is Nia Drumwind. A pleasure to meet you, Lady Penelope.
Nia Drumwind. Have we met before? I swear I've met a Nia Drumwind before.
I'm sure I'd remember you if we'd met before.
Could you roll a deception, please?
Maybe it's not a deception.
Well, yeah.
Depending on how the roll goes. Nope, it's a deception. 19.
Good. Oh my, well, to be honest, I meet many fellows at these places. Many a fellows I have in my mind.
19 plus 6,
Wonderful.
25.
Frank-
I felt like that was important.
Okay, it wasn't. Many a fellow in my mind. So what, my fellow, do you do? What brings you to this party?
Oh, a businessman who likes the local festivities, of course.
A businessman? What business be you in?
Oh, let's not talk work while at a party. And what do you do, Lady Penelope?
Well, maybe I'm here working at the party. Looking for that someone special. And with that, she twirls around her umbrella. She has like a sunshade umbrella kind of thing that she has with her.
Okay. I want to do an insight to see if I believe her.
Okay. Go ahead.
And what exactly I think she means by that. 11 plus 5 for investigation.
You think she probably means
16?
She's looking for a husband.
Oh, right, okay.
Someone special.
Okay.
And she looks at you slightly, kind of moving her head slightly to the side, coyishly saying, "I wonder if you could be someone special."
Okay. I'm going to... Okay.
Well, Penelope, why don't you join me down this wonderful corridor to the right?
And, wait, am I already in the corridor?
No, you're just on the balcony at the moment.
Oh, right, okay. Because, I think that's good I asked that.
Yeah.
Although I did ask halfway through.
Penelope, I was going to take a walk down this corridor, if you would like to join me.
It sounds a lot creepier out loud, but...
You're using a creepy voice.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help. But let's...
The context of what you're saying is fine. She
Sure.
goes, My, sir, you sound like you've come from the wrong side of town with a voice like that.
Oh, it's this horrible cold that's been going around.
Oh, don't breathe on my fish eyes. She hides her bowl of fish eyes.
And I smile in a coy way.
Okay. Roll your charisma. Charisma check.
So...
Plus your charisma ability.
So 20 plus 3, 23.
Ooh, she smiles back.
I'm quite charismatic.
I feel like
And that's not my voice, but...
I feel like you've got a new mission. She leans in and says, "Are you going to take me to the bowls?"
To the what?
To the bowls.
I'm going to do an insight check to see if I even have a clue what that is.
Roll for
Would
it.
you say insight or streetwise?
Insight, because streetwise does not exist.
Oh. Okay, so 11 and 4, 15.
The only bowls you've heard of is like parlour games.
Okay. So, just to interrupt that for a second, I've lost sight of...
Oh yeah, they've gone around the corner.
Okay. Do I feel like that I need to move quite quickly now? Maybe I'm going to lose track of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially.
I'm going to offer my arm to Lady Penelope and say,
Well, let's go for that walk, shall we?
And off you walk. You walk with her, and you walk down the corridor. She's sipping at her drink, and as you turn the corridor to the corner to the corridor, you see it's a really long stretch of corridor. Left side, again, hard castle wall. You can tell that's the exterior castle wall. And to the right side, there looks like there are rooms here. There's one room that's close to you that has a guard stationed on it, and another door much further down, much further down, which doesn't have a guard station on it. Roll of perception.
okay. 11 plus 4, 15. I seem quite consistent on these rolls.
You do. So the first thing you notice is that guard looks similar to the guard that came and got Gravlax.
Right, okay.
He's a dwarf.
Okay.
Dwarven guard, with a short cut beard. And the other thing is you can hear things being smashed, knocked over.
From the room he's guarding?
Yeah, it sounds like it. There's some bassy smashing coming from in there. Something like that. You don't know what.
Okay, do I suspect that it might be music as opposed to someone ransacking in and destroying a room?
No, it's not music. It's not music.
Does it sound like someone's like throwing things around and stuff?
Yeah,
or?
it does. Yeah.
Okay, but that looks like the guard who.
That's you recognise that's the guard. Yeah.
Okay. So, I would like to roll insight on this guard and see if I've picked up anything about maybe his characteristics that might give me some insight into how I might want to behave around him trying to get into this room, because that's kind of my aim.
Okay. So you want to roll? You want to get an idea of what the best...
So I've been watching him a couple of times now. I want to see if through my, again, judge of character, that if I can tell whether maybe I can, maybe pay him off, maybe I can bully him, whatever, to see if I could... Again, it's me building a strategy on my interaction with him to get into this room.
So you would know...
I can roll.
Okay, you can roll for it.
What do you want to say, insight?
Yeah, go for it.
Or streetwise?
Insight. There's no streetwise.
What's the streetwise?
There is none. They killed it.
No, but there's no alternative they've replaced it with? I feel that's quite...
Me too. What a mistake to make.
Bloody 15 plus 4.
You would know that strategies in the past that paying someone off is a lot easier in dodgier establishments.
So maybe it wouldn't be working here, probably.
Like the guards on the inside, which they're very well dressed. They're probably politer. They're more personable. They're maybe been there longer. They're probably paid all right. You could try and pay them off. Like everyone has a price. Distractions work well on guards in the kind of quite a fancy party area, because they want to make sure nothing weird is going on. They want to make sure there's nothing that's ruining the guest's time, because these are very rich, important people. You can always knife him, can't you?
I can, although I have Lady Penelope now.
Knife her too, can't you?
Yeah, I mean I could do. So I'm going to approach, and I'm assuming Penelope's just talking, and I'm nodding as if I'm interested.
Yes, she is talking. She's just talking about
she's
people
waffling.
She knows at the party, basically. Yes.
Sure.
And so you're walking down this corridor.
Okay. Has the guard reacted as I'm approaching, or is he just...
Not particularly. He's just standing on guard.
Okay.
As you get closer, he gives you a nod and says, "Evening, sir."
Okay. Can I see into the room?
No. Big, thick doors closed.
Big, thick doors. Okay.
You did... so I should have told you this earlier with your insight checks. So the balcony area... You remember previously on the balcony area?
Yes.
I should have brought this up earlier. But there was like a small, like the kind of balcony you would get on a small apartment or flat.
Yeah.
There was another balcony with a door on this room, but looking into the main atrium area, the main big banquet room.
Oh, okay.
So when you were looking upstairs to this mezzanine balcony, this long stretch of corridor balcony looking into the room, as you look to this corridor that goes around to the right, which you've gone down, this first room, this had a balcony, a very small balcony with a locked door on it. There.
Okay.
So if you want to, when you think, oh, how can I look into this room? This door's completely locked. There was a balcony area on the outside.
Okay, that overlooks that room.
It's from the room overlooking the banquet
sorry.
area.
So behind this locked door is a balcony room that's overlooking the main
area. Yeah.
Okay.
And that kind of remember that as you walk around.
Okay. So I'm going to stop in front of the guard.
Yes.
Penelope, I'm assuming, is going to stop talking. Otherwise,
she does stop talking.
Okay. And I'm assuming I've been nodding as if I've been listening, and I turn to the guard and I say,
Hello, my good man.
Evening, sir. How may I help you?
Well, I've been invited to a meeting with Sneedle. Could you point me in the right direction?
Oh, sir, I'm not. Sneedle has a very full schedule this evening. I'm not sure you're on the list. What is your name?
I'm going to roll a bit of insight to see if I think I'm going to pursue this course of action anyway, but to see if I think I can. He's bluffable. 11 plus 4.
Yeah, you definitely think he's bluffable.
Okay.
My name is Nia Drumwind. I'm sure I'm on the list.
So your name's Nia Drumwind. Can I check your ticket, please?
No problem, good sir.
And I'm going to pass the ticket and fucking hope I get...
He looks at it and he says, Apologies, Master Drumwind. I did not know you had arrived already. Let me check with Sneedle, but I do not think you are on his list, unfortunately. There might be some mistaken organisation. Apologies. Let me double check, though. And he opens the door, and in the door you get only the slightest glimpse of a well-furnished room. You don't see anyone in the room from the glimpse you get, and he goes in there.
Okay. And I'm going to turn to Penelope and say,
My dear, would you mind if we stop for a meeting before continuing our walk?
Oh, why, yes, I didn't know you were meeting with Mr. Sneedle. This is, wow, you must have very important business in these parts.
Well, we have plenty to talk about later, my dear.
What are you talking with him about?
That can wait, my dear. The mystery is quite exciting, isn't it?
You fucking tease. Roll deception.
well, I'm not bluffing. I do believe mystery.
That's super. Just because the words you literally say are not a lie.
So I got a... and you wanted persuasion, did you? Oh, I got a 2, but I've got a 9 on persuasion, so 11.
I think I wanted deception.
Oh.
Yeah, because you're lying. You should have good deception.
Or am I persuading her?
No, you're deceiving her. You're pretending to be someone else, lying about things.
Yeah, but I'm trying to persuade
No, someone's lying.
6, 8.
She gives you a funny look. When you start
Not the first time.
The mystery of it all, and she says, "Fine. Well, if you want to find me, I will be in the bowls room." And she walks down the corridor.
Okay.
You see her walking to the second door that's quite far away.
And this was you mentioned it was a parlour game or something.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, it's some parlour game that rich people play, but you haven't played it yourself. As she walks down the corridor, this dwarf comes back up and says, "Hello, sir. Unfortunately, this Mr. Sneedle he's feeling unwell and says he doesn't have a meeting with you. If you would like a meeting, feel free to write in to Mr. Sneedle and he will organise one."
Okay. So
He's feeling quite unwell and can't entertain any extra guests.
Yeah, okay. So he's obviously gone and checked, and it hasn't worked out. Now, the question is, do I want to make a scene? How strong do I think this guard is? And this corridor is quite empty. Yes?
Fairly strong. He's a dwarf, and he's a paid guard, so he's not weak. But he doesn't look like he's a centaur guard, a specialist trained soldier. He is a city guard.
Okay, so I'm going to say,
Well, that's a shame, especially after being invited, but such is life. I will see you later, my good man.
I hope you have a good rest of your evening, sir.
and I tip my head, and I walk back down the corridor to the main area.
To the main balcony area.
Now, once I get to the main area, I'm going to look for something flammable.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to... so I'm going to look for something flammable that I could perhaps light, and quite quickly it will create a problem that might cause a fuss.
Okay. So you look around the room. When scanning the room and thinking about it, you think there's probably not anything that's flammable in this room. This is just kind of a restaurant area.
Okay.
There won't be anything flammable. There might be stuff elsewhere in the castle.
Do you know what? I look around to see if I see any slaves.
Slaves?
Like servants, sorry.
Yeah. Yes, you do walking around with drinks and stuff.
Okay. Do I see any servants that look kind of shifty, like I might be able to bribe them?
It's very hard to tell because this is a highfalutin VIP party. So
okay.
So you can. It's not like any of them look down on their luck particularly because they're all in quite nice outfits. But you can. The thing is, I think when you get into that situation, you should probably do a bit of an approach on one of them and see if they're amenable.
No, I know. That's fine. I was just asking if like I could maybe spot a shiftier one than the others. But that's fair enough. I'm going to approach one anyway. Okay. It was more just to give me a little edge. So I'm going to look for one that's maybe not currently being not too close to others, so I could maybe have a private word.
There's a servant who's standing at the top of the stairs on this balcony level that is holding a drinks platter for anyone that's come up the stairs, but there's no one already around him at the moment.
I'm going to approach him.
Okay, good. As you approach him, there's more activity in the party. The elvish lady walks off stage. The person you saw earlier, who was in lovely robes, who's dressed in kind of servant robes, but they're a lot richer, a lot more fancier. Okay. He walks up to stage and he says, "Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. For our next performance, we have, well, a rather special person who's visiting Seathwaite at the moment. A rather wonderful person who will run rings round your banqueting tonight." And on stage comes out smoke and walks out a man who's in gymnast gear wearing a mask of fire and water